Howdy folks, it is Wednesday, April the 9th. The time right now is 4:44 p.m. and the temperature here in the city of Vaughan, which is just to the north of Toronto, is about 3 degrees Celsius, and that was, I think, a Brampton bus followed by a York Region bus. So I failed to spin the camera around. And there's the look along Highway 7 heading west, which would make sense given that we saw a Brampton bus leaving. And this is the Vaughan City Centre, one of those quote-unquote downtowns that has risen up in the middle of suburbia. And I'm heading north up to Vaughan Mills Mall, and rather than take a bus up there, or at least straight away from here, I thought I would record a little walk first. So in this one I'll be heading north through the Vaughan City Centre and making my way up towards the mall. I might bail on the walk at some point and hop on a bus. I think it would take about an hour if I took the most direct route. But this busway is a nice addition to this big suburban arterial. It's good to see transit riders getting priority, as they should. There's a number of different buses served here. And there's an elevator that heads down into the subway station. Vaughan Metro Center Station. That's the northern terminus of the university side of Line 1. I think in 2001 I first came here to record a video, and I followed that up a few years later. And I wandered around this area in both videos, and I've done a station tour before. I think that's new. I don't think that entrance to the subway on that side of whatever the heck street this is, Millway, it existed last time I was here. There is a lot of salt on the ground. This isn't a particularly busy station, but this isn't really what you would call a proper downtown anyways. The area is surrounded by that dreadful suburban sprawl with a lot of nonsensical street grids designed to hamper pedestrians and cyclists from getting around, but cater to the automobile. I'm guessing there's a Raptors game. There's a Penguin pickup there, and some office towers and a whole lot of condos. But it's got the feeling of a big master planned community. Well, kudos for trying to build a little pocket of urbanity in the suburbs. You can probably tell I'm not a fan of suburbia in general. I definitely like my neighborhoods to be walkable. But that's the idea here. Just to have everything one would need within steps of where you would live. And fortunately, they have access to the subway. And the development plans for the city center date back to the early 90s. New apartments now renting on the Millway. Highway 400 is just over in that direction. The 407 is just south of here. And well south of here is the 401. These are those buildings that are renting. The idea was to transform this area, which was kind of an underutilized industrial and commercial hub, into a vibrant urban center. Hey, there's a Balzac's Coffee. And I think that's part of a college campus. It might be Seneca. Let me know down in the comments. I don't see any signage. You can enter the bus terminal there on the left and take a York Region bus. Jane Street is a major north-south arterial, which is just off in that direction. I quite like that new tower in the center of the shot. It's nice seeing something that isn't all glass going up. York University is just to the south of here. Here we can take a little look through this bus terminal. There's a Brampton bus. I think there's a YMCA over there. It's definitely got a bit of a sterile feel to it. A lot of gray concrete. The subway station opened in 2017. That kind of kicked this area off as being the central part of the suburb of Vaughan. Vaughan's Metro Center itself is around 442 acres. It is one of the faster growing municipalities in the province. I think it's made up of 6 separate communities. Historically, about 30% of the population in Vaughan has been of Italian descent. And Vaughan was incorporated into a city, I think, in the early 90s. North of here is the Vaughan Mills Shopping Centre. And north of that is Canada's Wonderland. How's that for pedestrian friendliness? urban design and planning. I'd like to see some examples of their work in this area. Now this looks just like every other commercialized area ever in suburbia. There's a plan to build 4 high-rise mixed-use towers ranging from 30 to 45 stories where this plaza is. Oh, someone honked, reaching down to the floor in their car. So this is north on Millway. I don't think I could take this all the way up to the big mall. There's a Lavazza. My plan is to go up, record them all, possibly get a bite to eat there. And then live stream coming back south. I'll have to choose different streets in the way I'm choosing to go north. Chick Pick Persian Kebab. I wonder if that sign has ever brought them any business. Maybe at the next intersection, I'll go east a block and we can start going north up Jane Street a little bit. Much of the city looks like this in the commercial areas. Metro concrete floors. Yeah, let's get off the street. We'll head over to Jane.
Another thing is
Just going to take a look at Google Maps here and say what it thinks it would take, or rather how long it would take from where we are now to the mall. Let's see. Ten-minute drive. I don't know if that's picking it up or not, but 50-minute walk. I can already tell you from experience when I look at the stats for this video, after the first maybe 6 or 7 minutes walking through the quote-unquote downtown area of Vaughan. The amount of people still watching this late into the video are going to drop off dramatically. And that's exactly one of the reasons why I try to keep my walks more on the urban side. It's nice to change it up and come see different areas every now and then. But there's definitely less overall viewer interest in areas like this. There's an Italian restaurant. All right, at Pennsylvania Avenue here. Let's hang a right and head over to Jane Street, where I'll have the option to hop on a northbound bus. I think the bus fare is over $4 here. I'll be able to pay for the very short ride with my Presto. There's the view. Vaughan City Centre just to the south of here. Just south of there is, or was, an old AMC 30 location. It closed down, I think, in 2014. It just wasn't getting the volume of people walking in there to see a movie. Also, I think that coincided with when most movie theaters had switched over to digital projectors. That would require a very serious investment for 30 screens. And right across the highway, there's a large Cineplex. It's kind of shaped like a spaceship, competing with it. So I think having two mega theaters across the street from one another was not ultimately good for business. There's also a Dave & Buster's there, and a big IKEA. Right, it's Jane Street. It looks like I'm about to waltz into a construction zone. Looks like the city will be installing new utility poles here. We'll cross over to the other side. That's where buses will be coming through. And I think these sidewalks were new. I think when I last looked through this area on Google Maps, there were no sidewalks. It looks like they're roughing in a bike lane as well. Good stuff. See how long this takes. There's a good way to pad the video time. What are you doing? Oh, you know, the normal, just hanging out at Pennsylvania Avenue and Jane Street in the city of Vaughan, waiting for the world's longest traffic light cycle to complete. Just the usual stuff. Jane Street here is quite long. It starts in Toronto, south of here, at Jane and Bloor, at the west end of Bloor West Village, and it goes north all the way up, I think, into the Holland Marsh. Kind of becomes a local regional road up that far. I just gotta hop over this. If you're in a wheelchair, the city of Vaughan says, fuck you. This would certainly not fly in Toronto. Like, where's someone crossing the street supposed to go? You'll sprain your ankle? How come they get a covered bus stop over there? No covered bus stop on this side. I think those towers way off in the distance are more or less where the mall is, where I'm heading. Hey, there's a bus. Let's take it. This way, maybe I can live stream going down Jane. The bus is pretty busy. I'm just gonna chill here and get a look out of the door.
Touch yellow tape to open doors. Yellow tape to open doors.
It says we're about 10 minutes away by car. I think that 21 minutes is assuming I catch the next bus and not this one. should be pretty close. Just a few more blocks north to go, it looks like. And we are just about here, I think. We're just going to turn left and pull into the bus terminal at the mall.
yellow tape to open doors.
All right, we did it. That was the 20 bus. And there's a peak of Canada's Wonderland and a lot of roller coasters off in the distance just north of here. You can just barely see the crest of Behemoth, or not Behemoth, Leviathan? Well, Behemoth as well. And the drop tower off in the distance, but I am going to set up and record my video going through Vaughan Mills Mall. So you can look for that to appear on the channel. And you can see the Vaughan City Centre just to the south of here. I'm not sure which video I'll post first, this one or that one, but I'm sure they'll both appear within a few days of one another. But I want to thank you for watching this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there's the super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one. Yoink.